Hi, welcome to Yoke's YouTube channel. I'm Liz Mathew, your regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Thanks for tuning in. So today we will be looking at a question that we are receiving quite often. I do have a job in tier 4 and 5, and what are my options? So let's look at in details, because people have the notion that if you are in a tier 4 or 5 category, you have basically no option in Canada to get your permanent residence. So let's dive into the video. And if you are someone in this position, please do watch till the end, leave us a comment, and we'll be happy to hear from you. So what is this tier 4 and 5? Canada basically classifies occupation using the National Occupation Classification, or the NOC codes, and each occupation is assigned a tier category. So TEER basically stands for training, education, experience, and responsibility. And examples of tier 4 occupations could include home support worker, personal support workers, depending on the type of occupation, the food processing workers, manufacturing workers, and some administrative and service occupations. They come under tier 4. And some examples of tier 5 occupations could be kitchen helpers, general laborers, farm laborers, cleaning staff. And being in a tier 4 or 5 category does not automatically disqualify you from your permanent residence. That's something that I want to point out. And immigration programs look at the specific NOC, the occupation stream requirements, and provincial labor market needs, not just the tier category. So Canada's Provincial Nominee program allows provinces and territories to nominate workers who meet the local labor market needs and who intend to settle in that province. And each province sets its own eligibility criteria and nomination priorities. That means the same occupation could be eligible in one province but not in the other. So that's basically how PNP programs work. Every province have their own eligibility criteria and requirement. Let's look at Ontario. Ontario basically introduced the Ontario Workforce Priority Stream, which is not yet open at this time, and it's set to open sometime later in the summer 2026. So that's something that we are waiting for, that they do accept tier 4 and 5 category occupations. There is an employer that needs to support you. Employer requirement is basically employer needs to be 3 years existing business in Ontario. If that is a business located within GTA, they do require 1 million annual revenue and 5 permanent residents or Canadians working in that work location. Or if it is a business outside GTA, they do require 500,000 annual revenue and 3 permanent residents or Canadian citizens, full-time employees working in that particular location. So that is basically what is the tier 4 and 5 category. And there is also experience requirement, which is a requirement for the employee. They need to have a full-time permanent job offer. And apart from the full-time permanent job offer, they need to have experience requirement, which is 9 months of work experience. And it needs to be with the employer that's providing you the job offer. This is what we have information as of right now. The program is currently closed, and when it opens up, yes, the employer could help you to put in your expression of interest by submitting. The employer can submit a employer portal. Through the employer portal, they can submit a job offer on behalf of you. Let's look at another province, Alberta. So there is the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, is another province that you could maybe consider. And many occupations in tier 0 to tier 5 may be eligible under the certain AIP streams, provided They are not on the Alberta's ineligible occupation list. There is a list Alberta has for occupations that are not eligible for the AIP stream. That is something that you really need to make sure that your particular occupation is not on that non-eligible list, and the applicant meets the requirement of the specific stream. Alberta does not nominate workers just based on a tier 4 or tier 5 stream. Eligibility depends on factors such as the immigration stream, your work permit type, your occupation, your employer, language, and other program requirements. Moving on to Saskatchewan is another province in Canada, and it continues to align immigration with labor shortages. And rather than targeting tier levels, Saskatchewan increasingly focuses on priority sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, skilled trades, manufacturing, energy, mining, technology. And if your occupation falls within one of these priority sectors and you meet the stream requirements, Saskatchewan may be a strong option for you. So, moving on to the next province, which is Manitoba. Manitoba continues to be employer driven immigration pathways. That's what that particular province always brings about. And workers who have Manitoba employment, your employer support, and satisfy the stream requirements. And you may qualify through the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program. And many successful applicants work in sectors such as the manufacturing, transportation, agriculture, healthcare, food processing. British Columbia has changed significantly. BC has increased occupation targeted invitations, particularly for the healthcare, your childcare, construction, and veterinary occupations. And if you are in a tier 4 or tier 5 category, you should not assume you are eligible simply because of your tier level. Always check whether your occupation fits the current BC pathway and invitation priorities. The AIP, Atlantic provinces, so that there are certain provinces that come under Atlantic provinces, which is the Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, Prince Edward Island, the Newfoundland and Labrador. And many employers in these provinces recruit workers in sectors such as hospitality, food processing, manufacturing, transportation, and healthcare. And which occupation may have stronger provincial opportunities? So, some of the examples of occupation that often appear in provincial labor market shortages basically is the home support worker, personal support workers, healthcare aides, truck drivers, food processing workers, manufacturing workers, construction laborers. These are all occupations that are very much common among provinces, and this is not any kind of official ranking, and opportunities varies by province and by draw and how you are eligible in that particular province. I'm hoping this clears your myth that when you have a tier 4 or tier 5 job, you basically have no PR options. Well, there are provincial options that are in place, and you will have to see which province is eligible for you. So, how to improve your chances of getting a nomination, or if you are working in a tier 4 or 5 occupation, is basically improve your English or French language scores. Keep detailed employment records, research whether your occupation is currently in demand in your province, monitor provincial program updates, make sure your employer meets the requirements of the stream under which you are really applying for. And Canada's immigration program is becoming more targeted, basically NOC code specific. So if you are in a tier 4 or 5 occupation, don't assume that permanent residence is impossible, but don't assume that it's automatic either. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching. Please do reach out to us and we are happy to help you out. See you all in the next video.